Hey y'all, Miss Coors Light, we finally made it all the way to Homestead, and Jeff Gordon, 200th pole for Hendrick Motorsports. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It was a great effort, so I mean, it goes to show you why Hendrick has so many poles over the years. And Alan Gustafson, I thought he just did a fabulous job today. We were okay on the bottom in the early rounds, and then we saw in the end of that second round guys moving up and really gaining some speed, and we knew that we needed to move up top, but we need to make a couple adjustments. They made those adjustments. The car felt great up there, and here we are sitting on the pole. It's pretty awesome.
You said last week all you wanted to do was come to Homestead and win the race. How would that be to end out what has been an incredible season for you so far?
Yeah, it really has been a great season for our whole team. I'm so proud of them, and we're disappointed we're not in it for the championship this year, but nothing would make us happier than to finish this season out with a win. We're working hard towards that, and it's about momentum for next year. It's about showing what we're capable of, and just ending this season on a positive note.
All right, congrats to Jeff Gordon, a true champion in this sport. Signing out from Homestead.
With Jeff Gordon on pole position, looking to close out his season in upset fashion.
Yeah, I think it would be a statement.
We'll face, you'll get to see some of that sun glare into the sunset from our high-definition onboard cameras. Riding with Jeff Gordon, the pole sitter, has chosen the outside lane. The final race win of the season and a championship on the line in the Ford EcoBoost 400 at Homestead, Miami. We're underway. Little slip by Brad Keselowski off turn 4, drops him a couple of spots. It's Gordon leading, Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth for second. You ride with Kevin Harvick, who's fourth.
Harvick would really like to get himself in a situation where he's not looking at two cars side by side right in front of him. He wants to be able to get in a safe.
Kurt Busch struggling on the bottom side of the racetrack, so Harvick drives by him in here, lead a lot of laps and have a fast race car.
No question that he was going to have a fast car when we got here. It seems like every week. Urgency for Harvick to go up and get the lead right here.
Drivers say it over and over again. Jeff Gordon even said it this weekend. There's something to win in that last race of the year. It might be the most overlooked victory of the whole season because the focus is on the championship stage, and unless you win the race and the championship, nobody remembers who won. But there's something about carrying that winner's swag for the next 3 months till you get to Daytona.
It lasts so much longer. When you win that last race, you've got all winner for the next guy to win one. And so you do carry that momentum, in my opinion, by winning that last race, even if it's overshadowed by somebody else winning the championship.
Jeff Gordon leads, Kevin Harvick running second. And we're just underway here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Nice move by he and his team. So Kurt Busch chooses the outside lane, and he'll have Jeff Gordon to his inside on the double up.
It'll be very interesting to see how this 41 handles on 2 tires. This racetrack is really hot and slick, and I know it wasn't a lot of laps there, but man, you need all the grip you can get. It'll be a good experiment for his teammate Kevin Harvick to see how it might work.
Somebody's got to try it.
Yeah, we'll see. It seemed to work decent with just about 10 laps on the tires yesterday in the nationwide race. Seemed like the tires held up pretty decent to be able to do that.
I thought we might see a lot more of it, like I said, with only the 10, 11 laps of green flag racing on it. Pace cars off. Our green flag restart is presented by Diet Mountain Dew. Joey Logano looking on Kurt Busch to see if he can find a spot while Jeff Gordon hunts and sniffs a little bit to the low side of Kevin Harvick.
Logano was able to slide up in front of Kurt Busch.
Third, Harvick leading, Newman 16th.
Watching Newman there.
Gordon looking low.
I tell you, this 24 car has been so strong all year. It's just, you know, they have to look back at just that one point that kept them out of a chance to win a championship by winning here. Have a car that looks like it's capable of winning this race.
It really has been a fantastic year for Jeff Gordon and this team. I mean, just performed at such a high level each and every week, and I'm sure if they could, you know, you can blame it a lot of things. You know, obviously he was in a great position to win at Texas and move on until had a late race caution, and then things that happened from that point. But if you want to look at just one thing, not changing those left side tires first there may have cost them that opportunity. But there's so many decisions that go into an entire year.
Yeah, he had 2 second-place finishes in that last round, still didn't make it. He's had actually 6 top 2 finishes in the last 10 races. That just shows you how strong this car has been.
Jeff says the outcome at Phoenix, where he finished second and then got the word that he was out, hit him really hard. Said they felt like they did everything right, still didn't make it, and he said even if he wins here, that's only going to make it hurt even more because they know that that win here could have meant that 5th championship. And now, as I talked with his crew chief Alan Gustafson here yesterday, he said, now we got to start all over again. We've wiped the slate clean, we go back in February, and we know how hard it is just to get into the chase, let alone to get in position to win the championship in the chase. And now you got to start the process from scratch in February.
Yeah, this season took a lot out of a lot of teams. It was so much intensity. You could feel it in the garage every time we went down there through the entire 10-race chase.
And they certainly, when Gordon and Gustafson tell you we have had a championship level performance this season, those numbers say, yeah, you did.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And as you talk about, as they look forward to next year, you know, as they came into this year not knowing exactly how all of this would play out and what you would have to do and the things you would experience, the amount of pressure that would be there to perform, now they know, and they know just how difficult it's going to be to go through each level and get yourself in a position to win a championship, be a part of that 4 here next year.
After sniffing low under Harvick for a few. Harvick losing the lead to Jeff Gordon just a moment ago. And we'll show you how right here.
Yeah, pretty plain and simple. You know, we spoke earlier about these 4 drivers not taking the chance here early in this race. See Harvick staying in the middle of the track. Gordon had moved up and made a couple of big runs. Harvick saw that was happening, gave that spot up right now.
Yeah, a good example of that risk reward as these tires wear. You can see the difference in speed right there of that high line that Gordon's taking.
But when you see all the scuff marks on the wall in the corner,
that's the risk part.
That's a good illustration of the risk.
Yeah, and then when Kevin Harvick, when it comes time, and Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, if that's where they need to be towards the end of this race, they will be right there getting all that they can.
So big gap opened up by the 24 on the 4 after taking the lead. So Gordon with a 2.5-second lead over Harvick, Hamlin, and Logano. Jeff Gordon with a big lead, 2 seconds on Joey Logano, who runs second in this race for third. So Jeff Gordon leading Joey Logano by nearly 3 seconds, 2 3/4 seconds from first to a second place. Reminder that right after we crown a NASCAR Sprint Cup champion here in South Florida, you will see a champion or champions crowned in the Auto Club NHRA Finals tonight, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and also live on Watch ESPN. And the yellow flag has just come out for a smoker down the backstretch into turn number 3. It's Brett Moffitt in the 66. That yellow likely a bad break for Brad Keselowski, who had just ducked onto the pit lane under the green flag from 6th place before the yellow flag.
It looked like Paul Wolf and Brad were trying to short pit just a little bit to try to get a little advantage on the rest of the guys by getting those fresh tires on, but it kind of bit them a little.
Yeah, that's the one thing that can get you whenever you're doing that, but he will at least get the waiver out because everybody's going to have to pit here. We'll put him back on the lead lap.
They'll put him back on the lead lap, but he does lose the track position that he was trying to gamble to get.
Right. Send him all the way to the end of the line. So second yellow flag out in the race, still shy of the 100-mile mark. And the 3-second lead that Jeff Gordon had built over Joey Logano had gone away. Denny Hamlin got around Kevin Harvick for 3rd place just before the yellow flag. And Matt Kenseth. But Jeff Gordon holds the lead on the 2nd round of pit stops. Jeff Gordon held the lead on the pit stops, has chosen the outside lane. You see Denny Hamlin to his inside. Logano and Harvick 3rd and 4th. Newman is 11th. Brad Keselowski took the wave around to get back on the lead lap. He's 24th. We're in turn 2. Now Denny Hamlin finishes the lap as the race leader off turn 4.
I bet Gordon's thinking, what have I got myself into here between all these guys racing for a championship? Racing hard.
He hasn't figured that out by these last 9 weeks.
Right in the hornet's nest.
Is that kind of like the nudge he gave him in the press conference the other day that would show John Countdown? Jeff Gordon back underneath Denny Hamlin, and Gordon reestablishing himself in the number 1 spot.
Comes Logano trying to take advantage now. Get himself.
Move by Joey Logano to try and get the lead off into turns 1.
To a higher competitive level. All the teams have, and we're seeing it
on NASCAR Countdown. Try to make that formula pay off in a win. Homestead Miami Speedway, where Jeff Gordon leads the Ford EcoBoost 400. Gordon has led about 100 miles of this one, and 66 of the 81 laps that have been completed. Kevin Harvick for 11, Denny Hamlin for 2, Kurt Busch and Blake Cook for 1 each, the lap leaders today. Cars.com, all drive, no drama, showing you the biggest movers in this race. Newman is 5.9 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. Jeff setting quite a pace in this green flag run of the race. He's moved out by 2 seconds over Kevin Harvick.
You know, ahead of one spot. A lot of intensity down there.
Third round of pit stops in the race. As Jeff Gordon, the race leader, has chosen the inside lane this time after choosing the outside lane on the prior attempts. Green flag restart presented by Diet Mountain Dew. Look at Kyle Larson around the outside.
I kind of wondered when he was going to show up.
And Newman looking 3. Gordon, Hamlin, Harvick, followed by Larson, Newman, Kenseth. Tell you one thing this cloud cover is doing that's come over the racetrack. We saw the dual visor that Jimmy Johnson had on earlier. And as you look at the top of the windshield on a lot of these cars, the big tape rolls that they've got down the inside of the windshields to protect from that sun glare later towards sunset. Jeff Gordon has done most of the leading in this one, for most all of it as well. Right now, the 4 drivers all set about an hour away, but cloud cover making those lights show up a little bit sooner. Jeff Gordon's star shining brightly in South Florida. Done a lot of leading in this one so far. only problem they've got is Jeff Gordon is out front and got a really good car today and dominating this one. It's the Ford EcoBoost 400 from Homestead Miami Speedway, with a reminder that NASCAR.com/RaceBuddy has all the high-definition onboard views, the chat rooms, and the live leaderboard, and more. And once we get into the second half of today's race, remind you that our ESPN NASCAR nonstop coverage will come your way. You won't miss a moment of the action. And today it is brought to you by Kyle Busch for that spot, while Jeff Gordon has opened up a 1.5 second lead on second place Kevin Harvick. Let's go up to speed and check in on the top 10 runners in the race. We begin with Dr. Jerry Punch.
And as you might expect, Alan, Jeff Gordon very happy with his race car. He said, really, overall, I don't have anything to complain about. But he just told Alan Gustafson a moment ago, okay, you might want to tighten me up a little bit on this next stop. And they told Jeff back, said, oh, by the way, your car does not have the drop-off in speed after 10 laps that the Ford car does. You're being very, very consistent, so keep it up. Jamie.
And behind him is Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's had a great career, too. He's an incredible crew chief.
Pit stops here. After another round of pit stops in which Jeff Gordon's team held the #1 spot. Of course, Gordon's got that first pit stall by winning the pole in qualifying here on Friday. Kevin second to leader Jeff Gordon. Denny Hamlin third, Joey Logano fourth, Ryan Newman seventh. Free pass at the caution to Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Kyle Busch's car is behind the wall after the problem that they had leaving pit road on the stop. Here's your restart order. And got a long way to go. Still not even halfway through at Homestead.
Hamlin or who, but sure stacked things up there. It's Harvick's trying to take the lead from Gordon on the high side.
Practice for the finish. Harvick led that one. And Logano and Hamlin are side by side behind these two. Gordon squeezes in front and reclaims the lead. Logano wins out in third. Now Jimmy Johnson. After Jeff Gordon dominated the opening 150 miles or so, Gordon leading 107 of the 146 laps we've run. Jeff Gordon's team held the lead all 4 previous times, but he came onto pit road as the leader in all of those instances. Now we'll see if he can move from second into first.
To beat Harvick off of pit road.
Want to know why it's important to win pole position?
Yeah, you see it right there.
That first pit box, dump the clutch, and you're at the scoring line. So Jeff Gordon's team regains in the lead, with Jeff Gordon leading him to the green.
Look, the run Harvick's got on the top side. Well, didn't work out for him.
Logano to third around Harvick as Hamlin hunts the lead on Jeff Gordon. Ryan Newman into fifth on the restart. Look at that. Sick. Oh, trouble. Turn 3. Car. And so while we work the yellow flag, we check in over at the Quicken Loans ESPN pit studio with Nicole, Rusty, and Brett.
There is one other part to this. Right now, who has the lead? Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon missed this championship round by just 1 point. That's one spot on the racetrack. He won the pole earlier this weekend, his 77th pole of his career, the 200th pole for Hendrick Motorsports, and he said, if we go on to win this race, it makes everything else just that much more bittersweet.
Well, you can really tell Jeff Gordon's trying to prove a point today. He is so strong out there. He really deserved to be in this chase. I mean, he barely missed it, but he's out there just running record lap times around there, dominating parts of this race, and you can tell that he is mad a little bit. He wants to prove a point. He wants to get it done. I mean, he is driving like a champion right now.
He really is. That car is really, really fast.
Yeah, and you talk about the one guy that's not was the first guy out, who was Jeff Gordon they were just talking about. So you've got all 5 of those right there.
So Jeff Gordon choosing the outside lane there. So Joey still running third and still got a long way to go in this one.
When we talk about from an aero standpoint, just how important that right side of the car is, and especially the right rear back there, and you do that kind of damage, could hurt your performance.
Just joining us, the 4 drivers competing for the championship have been in the top 6, 7 spots since the first run of the race was done. In the second green flag run of the race, Ryan Newman really charged forward. Newman, the one who started deepest in the field in the 31 car back in 21st place. After the first pit stops, he charged forward, and these guys have been in the lead group ever since. All of them fighting it out with Jeff Gordon for these top spots. Gordon has really been the strongest of the non-chase cars today. He's led the most laps in this one, though Gordon runs in 3rd position right now. The other Gordon
getting into the wall, making the right rear go down.
His crew cleanly changing tires this time without any of the dramatics and fireworks we had a year ago.
Yeah, really impressive to watch Kevin Harvick here. He is just not buying into the fact that to go up there near the wall at this point in time and get all the speed that he can from this car. And he may not need to once the track changes over somewhat. Even if he gets up second here to Jeff Gordon at this point in time, I don't think that he's ready to go up there and run lap after lap challenging that wall.
Yeah, we saw Joey Logano lose a little bit of his giddy up when he brushed the wall. It's not hurt his car too bad, but he did lose a couple of spots after that.
Jeff Gordon around Harvick to 2nd place. 24 laps into this green flag run. Had a fairly steady procession of cautions today. Longest green flag stretch, 44 laps. Some of these tire changers just going to be flat worn out at the end of this one if that pace keeps up with the yellow flags and the tire changes.
We really do expect a long green flag run at some point in time during this race. Usually happens.
Yep. The last 9 Miami races had at least one green flag stretch of 53 laps or more. Denny Hamlin leading, Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick. Logano's 5th, Newman is 6th. 77 laps to settle it.
No changes here but 4 tires, and Hamlin will scoot off pit road and lose a spot.
No scooting off pit road for Joey Logano. Follow up on the pit stop for the 22, who's going to fall down to 10th position for the race lead.
We're getting to a time that these restarts could decide.
To 10th. And Jeff Gordon back in the race lead. But now it's Gordon back to the #1 spot. He has made the most of having that #1 pit stall on the stops by virtue of winning pole position in qualifying here Friday.
Yeah, and something I've seen here, we heard Denny Hamlin complain earlier in the race about the splitter hitting on these restarts. He couldn't attack the corner the way they need to with low air pressures. Looks like they've got that repaired for him.
They're all competing for 5th place in the championship. Also, right now, Brad Keselowski and Jeff Gordon are tied in points.
Wouldn't expect anything less from what we've seen to this point.
And that's with Jeff winning the race and Brad running in 4th place. All coming in with 59 to go.
12 seconds for Hamlin, he's away.
Gordon nosed it out at the line, barely over Hamlin. And Ryan Newman losing 4 spots on the round of pit stops. That hurts.
Bad time for that.
By that much, Jeff Gordon hangs on to the race lead.
Jeff Gordon out front, the top 2 championship contenders, excuse me, Alan, 2nd and 3rd.
This has been just a race-long drama. If you haven't been with us earlier, Nicole, all 4 of the championship contenders have been running well. A couple of them running into some issues here lately. Joey Logano with the wall contact that they had to take extra time on the pit stop earlier to straighten out. He's back in 8th place, and Ryan Newman with the bad pit stop there dropped him 4 positions down to 9th place. Hamlin and Harvick running 2nd and 3rd. Jeff Gordon back in the lead. 55 laps to go, and absolutely no reason to disagree with Rusty or Brad about the intensity of the restart here.
No, you got to get it. You know, you don't know that whether this could be the last one, and your opportunity to get out front right here, right now.
Let's see what happens.
Right here to get by Jeff Gordon if he can, as quickly as he can.
Just in case we've seen the last of the yellow flags. Joey Logano up to 6th. You see Newman trapped back at 11th.
Really impressive what Denny Hamlin's been able to do in these last few restarts of racing with Gordon and getting himself positioned out front.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with the adjustments that Darian Groves made on the car, because that was not a strong suit for this team early in the race. They've really turned that part around.
A team that's found speed as the season's gone on. The Joe Gibbs Racing organization self-admitting they didn't have the pace with this year's set of rule packages for much of the year. Denny got his victory at Talladega back in the month of May. Matt Kenseth winless on the year. But as the championship run began and they made the chase, they found more pace. They found better handling on the car. Toyota's picked up the horsepower under the hood as the season's gone along. And Hamlin and company getting stronger and stronger when it counts the most.
Talk about peaking at the right time.
That's what it's all about, getting to the end.
They have to pace tonight.
You see up top there, Joey Logano's gone around Dale Jr. to get himself in the 5th spot. Right now, 5th is no good as far as the championship, but it's got you closer to those guys you are battling.
He can still see them.
not the right time to give up some track position in this race. Newman started way back, halfway through.
And the lap times have picked up considerably since it's cooled off.
Big run for Jeff Gordon on Denny Hamlin here. Another big run. Look at him gas that 24 up. Oop, slipped there.
Yeah, sometimes you get to that gas a little too hard, a little soon, you lose the front end. Looked like that's what happened to Gordon right there.
Now he falls back into the clutches of Kevin Harvick. And Joey Logano trying to hang on to fifth over Dale Jr. right side of the screen.
You know, Harvick has to be looking at that lap count on that board, knowing he's got to make a move here.
Now Hamlin goes back to the top side of the racetrack. Gordon's going to take advantage, see if he can look low.
Not yet.
I think Harvick's pulling for Gordon right now.
How many times you can say that, is it?
No, but I think he is right here.
Debris back straight away. Caution flag. Had enough cars into the wall, and with the pit road. Oh, that's close. I think Gordon got him.
Wow.
Bound to make up.
Getting close to that time that he's going to move up and try to make the most speed that he.
Jeff Gordon a second and a half clear of these two. And continuing to post some solid lap times in that 24. Pit road has been closed for the race leaders because of where the car sits at that access road where the cars come off the pit lane down in turn one. So time for us to check out the driver who's led the most laps tonight, brought to you by Sprint. And that number would be by far and away the guy who leads now, Jeff Gordon, who has led 146 of the 237, now 147, that'll update to, of laps led tonight. Stay connected to the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with the Sprint Family Share Pack, 20 gigabytes of high-speed data to share, plus unlimited talk and text for $100 a month. Learn more at sprint.com/best value.
Jeff Gordon's led more laps this year than he did the last 2 years combined.
Yeah, certainly looking like a night of, after a celebration in victory lane, possibly a night of what ifs.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity that they have let slip away.
Enormously hardworking men and women on this ESPN NASCAR team. They travel the country away from their families 4-5 days a week, 35 weeks a year. Their skills to bring you these pictures and sounds are unparalleled. We're so proud of them and so proud to be their teammates. And these last 8 years have been a blast with them. And we just wanted you to know that from us, the voices and faces that you get to know and hear. It's been a blast, and we thank you at home for sharing it with us.
Yeah, the quality of our crew is unmatched. They're the best in the business.
Yeah, I'll second that or third that. Just unbelievable, the talented people we have in this crew and what they've done over my 7 years here.
And now we're going for the big finish.
That's right.
What a race it's been, and a lot still to be decided. Pit road open for the lead lap cars here. Who gains, who loses? And will anybody make a strategy play?
Hamlin hustling down pit road to try to beat Gordon off, but no, Gordon will get there first.
I'll tell you what, the intensity of those pit stops. Look at that rush off of pit road. And still, Hamlin and Gordon, bumper to bumper. These pit crews are doing a job. Look at this traffic jam coming to the end of pit road.
Yeah, we talked about the drivers during this chase. Just
does this alone. Takes a strong crew of people to engineer and put together these race cars. So finely tuned and finely machined and assembled. Takes a strong team on pit road. to get these
actually turn out. You know, that it was on paper. Here's what was going to happen. Here's how it was going to do. How would it actually play?
And the double up with Jeff Gordon, the race leader, and Denny Hamlin to his inside. Back to the pits and Doc.
Darian Grubb, your pit crew doing a heck. This is what I see, AB.
All right, Dave, we'll watch for Logano to try and make it 3 wide, maybe on the outside lane as he runs here with what'll be 25 laps to go. Logano 8th, Newman 6th, Harvick 3rd, Hamlin 2nd, and Jeff Gordon leading him to the restart.
Yeah, let's see if Harvick's a little more aggressive on the inside on this restart. Tries to get a little more down in turn 1.
Hamlin has trouble getting going, protects the inside. Harvick shoots the middle gap.
That's the spot that really matters to Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin.
Kevin's through, but all 4 title contenders nose to tail on the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson.
Great laps there. Thinking he had things well in hand. But you just never know. We said it was going to come down to a restart probably. Harvick did the job right now.
And so,
well, looks like they hung. Nope. Hamlin stayed out.
Gordon and Hamlin stayed out. We'll see how many more stay with him.
Not many. Not near as many as I thought would.
Wow, that's big, Vince.
The 31 team has gained Ryan Newman 4 spots in the pits the last.
Can Denny Hamlin hold on? Can Ryan Newman get by him? And what about Harvick and Logano?